Hey, what's up guys, it's Nick with Indieogo, and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make very basic shooting for your platforming game. The first thing that we need to do is create a bullet sprite. And mine's going to be really basic. I'm just going to use 4x4 pixels. And just this little circle thing. And fill it with gray. Okay. And now we will create the object. Okay, now the first thing that we need to do is start coding the bullet. So we can add in a create event, and we'll create a variable called damage, and we'll set that to 0 for right now. Okay, and now let's go ahead and add in a collision event for the ground. It's just going to destroy the bullet. Okay, so that's all we're going to be doing for the bullet. Now let's go into the player. And in the create event, we need to set up a few variables. It's not necessary, but trust me, it'll make things a lot easier if you think you're going to be going back and changing things about the shooting and everything like that. It just makes things a lot easier. So the first thing is, let's create a Boolean variable, and we'll name it pistol, and we're going to set it to true. Now let's create a few variables that define how this pistol is, like the delay between shots and the damage and things like that. So let's type in pistol damage equals, say, 15. Okay, and pistol delay equals 5, and pistol delay max equals 5. Now the reason I created two variables here is you're going to be using these two variables in the step event and the event where you're actually going to be firing the bullet. Like in my case, I'm going to be pressing the space bar, so I'm going to need these two variables in both of those. And I'll explain why I'm using two for this a little bit later, but just trust me on this. Alright, and now we need to set up two more Boolean variables. Okay, so we've got right equals true, left equals false. Okay, we can get out of the create event now. Now let's go and start working on this spacebar event. Okay, so first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that pistol delay equals the pistol delay max. Okay, now we can start working on the bullet. We need to create the object of the bullet, but we're not just going to use instance create like we normally would. We will be using that, but we're going to create a variable to do this for us, and basically the variable is going to act as a name or an ID for the object, so we can do different things to that actual object that we just have created. So let's go up to the top here and type in var b for bullet. So that's just going to tell GameMaker that we want an empty variable. We can assign a value to it later, but this variable can only be used in this actual script right here. Okay, so let's assign a value to the variable. Okay, so the value to the variable b is instance create, obj underscore player bullet. So now the variable b is an ID for the bullet that we just created. So if we want to, you know how we set a variable called damage inside of the bullet object. Well, now we can just type in b.damage equals pistol damage. And we've just set the amount of damage that bullet will do. Okay. Now we need to make it go in a certain direction. Alright, so we're going to check if right equals true, then b.direction equals 0, and b.speed equals 10. So that's going to allow the bullet to move to the right side of the screen. Else, and there we go. So if right is not equal to true, then b.direction equals 180 and b.speed equals 10. So it will move to the left side of the screen. Alright, now we need to add one more thing. We're going to set the pistol delay back to 0. Alright, now let's go into the step event. There we go. So we're just going to check to see if the pistol delay is below the pistol delay max. If so, then we increase pistol delay by 1. Now, back to what I was saying about why I used two variables here. Now, if I was to just remove this pistol delay max, I'm just going to comment it out for just a second here. Now, I only have pistol delay equals 5. So, in the step event, I would have to say if pistol delay is below 5, then pistol delay plus equals 1. And then I'd also have to change this to pistol delay equal to if pistol delay is equal to 5. Alright, so this works fine, but what if I want to change this in the future? Then I'd have to change this number here to 10, and then I would also have to go down here to the spacebar event and change that to 10. But I hate doing this, especially if you're using this in more than 2 places. It's just much better to use 2 variables for it. So let's go ahead and change this back real quick. So the way we have it set up now is if we want to change the delay in the fire or the shots, we only have to change these 2 numbers inside of the create event. We don't have to change it anywhere else. So that's why I like to use 2 variables for things like this. Now let's go into the enemy object, and we need to set up some help for it. So we'll just type in HP equals 100. And in the step event, I'm getting really confused here. Alright. Now, a collision with the bullet. So the only thing this is doing here is it's just decreasing the HP by whatever the bullet's damage is set to, and then it destroys the bullet object. Alright, so let's go on ahead and close all of this and test it out. And there is one problem. As of right now, you can only shoot to the right side of the screen because I forgot to add something in. But as you can see, it works either way. So let's get out of this real quick, go back to the player, and in the release right event, we'll type this in. And in the release left event, alright, let's test this out one more time. Okay, so there we go. The shooting is completely done now. Although we do still have one problem here. It waits for a key release, so you can just go into this and copy it. And there we go. You could actually remove it from the release events, but I like to make sure that the variables are going to switch, so I'm going to leave it in all 4 events. And that is how you make very basic shooting for your platformer. And I will see you next time.